Hey, good morning, folks. AJ, the CEO here, and guess what? We are here back in North Carolina, down at New Hope, to do the install that we had on site to try and fix some of the stuff that was incomplete in their install. So we're unloading everything and getting inside, and we're gonna. I know this is gonna take a couple of days, but I was in a rush, so I'm not really prepared. So I got to drive back home later this afternoon, get as much done, and then we're going to be heading back. But again, we're going to have to really do some reverse engineering to find out what was not completed and then fix those issues. The other thing we're going to be doing is um, redoing their audio system, reprogramming it mainly, just to get some different enhancements and stuff based off of what Pastor requested. So let me get this ready, this stuff unloaded, and get inside, and we're gonna go from there. All right, so I had to rethink something because I got a mount. I mean, a rack. So this is actually gonna come out, or you know what? No, I'm gonna maintain this because we got some amps and stuff like that. I think I have some shelves I'm gonna pull from the rack that I had, and we're gonna put that in here to mount some of the other stuff. The main thing is we're gonna get this old system out of the way. We have the A10 mini extreme. We have some wiring, got some cables, got some TV stuff that we need to do. Um, got some other PTZs that I'm gonna look at possibly replacing these because I didn't see how everything was connected, and I kind of like to work with what I know right now. So we're gonna go with that. But let me finish getting the rest of this in, and we'll try and start maybe in the hub from that, and then work this way. We have a TV. We're gonna hang right here. I didn't have space for my ladder, so I want to try and get everything possible and then come back tomorrow with my ladder, and then we'll go through the wiring and stuff like that. Most likely I'm gonna lay all the wiring on the floor, make sure everything is working, and then come back and place the stuff in the ceiling and go from there. Alrighty, we got some of it going. We got a custom system here. We got the A10 Mini Extreme. We do have that monitor working. I wish it didn't have as many bevels, but hey, we got it working. And for those who ask how come the TV is mounted so high, this was done before me. But I have two 27-inch monitors, and that table is way too small for that. So the suggestion was to put like a countertop, an IKEA one or whatever, to have an L shape to come all the way here and give way more workspace. That is going to go away, and I do have a rack mount. I might give them the one that I have at home because that's a 15, and I don't need that as big. That's just one I had left over from an install at Signs and Wonders. That may work. I take this whole thing, it's going to sit on the floor up under the table. We got the amps that need to go in, all three. The wireless, I think I got a wall mount. I actually might put those up there. And then we have they have a bunch of power ones. So I'm going to have it to where you hit the on switch here, that will turn on the ATEM and all this other stuff, and the PoE switch and all that other stuff. Now, I got some more details about how this original install went. I'm gonna leave that alone. I just realized that there's a lot of people installing stuff here that don't know what they're doing, or more importantly, it's a business to them, and it's not the aspect of what ministry can be, how this equipment can be used to enhance ministry, and that's what we try and focus on. But with that being said, I'm going to take these cameras down. I'm not even going to put the time in trying to see if I can retrofit. We're just going to take those down. We got the Famacos. We're going to put those down, use the existing wiring, fix the existing wiring, because some of them are SDI, some are this, some are HDMIs with extenders, some are ones with Ethernet extenders. It's just all over the place. We're going to make everything consistent. So let me finish doing the connections with the X32. Let's get the rack and stuff in place. Let's get internet to the computer. We need to also update the X32 because it has not been updated. It's still on firmware like 2 point something. And since we got to redo the sound anyway, it does not matter what I have in place. I'm still going to back up everything, but we're going to gut that and reprogram everything, get everything back up and working the way it should be. Yay, my sticker. So let's put in some more work. Alrighty, so the plan, since I don't have my ladder, is to run all the cables just on the floor to make sure we got everything working. Once we get everything working, then we're going to relocate those cables. But see, this is the fun stuff I'm talking about. Look at all that. Look at all that. Look at this. Look at this. You know, we don't need all that. So like this splitter, we're going to put a splitter, but it's going to be for the other part of the church, not inside the sanctuary. Everything else, we're going to get rid of all of this, and we're just going to have a direct line, one cable going from this TV, one cable going from that TV all the way back. And these are going to be directly showing ProPresenter the full output. So these are going to be ran through a 1x2 HDMI splitter coming from the custom system that we have there, as well as that 70-inch that's going to be hung back there. That is going to be coming from the Decklink mini monitor that is going to be outputting the stage display there. So let me get my cable tie cutters, cut that, and we're going to disconnect all that stuff. And I'm not going to pull them because I may be able to use some of these cables as pull strings to save myself from here. But based on if that is the type of work I'm seeing, I'd rather have an eyeball on. I kind of dread to see what in the world is above these drop ceilings, but we're going to make sure we get this stuff done right, so they don't have to come back and worry about any of this. Alrighty folks, so problem number one is solved, at least in the mock-up. Boom, we have our image here running our 2 fiber optic HDMI cables all the way to the back. Got plenty of distance left, maybe around like another 30 feet. So I guess I didn't need to go with 160-foot cables here. Maybe 100s would be fine. But yay, that's done. I'm gonna start working on the cameras now, and then I've already marked the studs for this TV. I'm gonna put the mount on there and see if we can rustle that up. But see, this is when I do stuff like this, I start shotgunning all over the place and I want to stay focused. So let me take back what I just said. We're gonna pull these cameras down, put the other ones up, run fiber HDMI cables from each one of the cameras, one in the front as well too, probably for the baptismal. Run that all the way back, and I should have another 160 foot for that camera. But anyway, we're gonna run that back, replace the 2 on the sides, then on the back, and make sure we're getting an image into the ATEM, and then we move on to the TV after that. It's 1 o'clock and we've got a lot of stuff done. All of the cameras have been replaced. Boom, that one was done. I don't know how that was mounted. It was like a shelf I impromptu made, but we put up a mount there. Got a bunch of cables. Like I said, we're running everything on the floor. And boom, we have all our cameras up and working. They were saying that previously they only had 3 working. Looks like the one at the baptismal didn't have a connection all the way back here. I don't know what was up with that, but we got everything running through. We also got the ATEM specific mix. I will reference the ProPresenter video to have multiple screens. So the same way we have at Signs and Wonders, the feed is coming in here with a permanent configuration for lower thirds in ProPresenter, but the full screen is going directly to the TV. So that's how that is done. I am tired, folks. What I need to do now is try and isolate where the HDMI cable is that's going to this TV, because that is going to be where we split and send the signal that's going to be the full output from the ATEM. So if somebody's in here in the entrance waiting for service to start, they can see anything that's going this way. And then that feed is also going to be split and will go to the other parts of the sanctuary that feed the TVs back here. So I know I said, talked about not putting an HDMI splitter behind the TV, which we're not going to do, but we are going to put an HDMI splitter on this side. Yes, on this side of the sanctuary. And we got to figure out how to get a feed all the way over here, because we will have the HDMI splitter. And taking a look back here, there is like the networking hub is back here in that corner. So what I want to do is put another shelf in here, and we're gonna put the HDMI splitter back here. What in the world? Anyway, HDMI splitter back here, so that the feed will go here, and then we would run all the connections everywhere else. Now, they do have some leftover SDI converters that they had in their original setup. They have a bi-directional one, which I was thinking about using for the back TV, but worst case scenario, to avoid any type of major issues with the cable, I'm thinking about doing the same thing did at Signs and Wonders, run one SDI connection all the way back here, have the converter on both sides, and then have that converter convert back over to HDMI, because there are no speakers back here, so all the audio will be coming from the TVs, so I don't have to worry about a sync issue. But that will make it very easy. Instead of me running cables all over the place, this would be an isolated area, and that pipe is going somewhere. Oh, that's a fiber connection because it's sealed. But there is another connection here that's ran up there. So out to TV. What is that? I don't know what TV that is, but we can utilize that in some way, shape, or form. But the idea is going to have running all of our HDMI cables on this side of the building, and then everything else. Honestly, all the cables for the sanctuary are already done, because that's the only thing that's going is that TV, and we got the other TV that's in the back that honestly I was not able to lift that one up. That was an LG and it's metal. I can lift it up, but lifting it high enough to get up on the mount, I'm gonna need some assistance with that one. So when the trustee is back here tomorrow, we'll do that. I'm gonna call, and I'm gonna head up out of here because I have to drive all the way back to Richmond because I didn't have everything prepared that I need, mainly clothes, so I can spend the night down here at the hotel. But what we're gonna do, so there's an Ethernet going to that camera. So there has to be a run somewhere. But I think I will do an SDI cable, because then that will be way more durable for this. And I think that would be beneficial to still utilize these converters that were not being used, because they have a bi-directional one, and I have a leftover HDMI to SDI, I think, or SDI to it doesn't matter, because the bi-directional will compensate for the opposite. So I'm gonna get an SDI cable, take all these cables tomorrow, pop them up in the ceiling up here, get these up out of the way, get some help to mount that. There is no power, but if there's power, and there's the converter I was talking about, but if there's power on the other side, we can do a kit like I did, some of y'all recommended I did at Signs and Wonders, and we're gonna run the cable through this side. I didn't do that, that's not me. There's power over here, so there should be an outlet over here somewhere. I mean, because we got a refrigerator, so it has to be an outlet over here. That's on the floor back there. yeah, we can just run an extension over here and then plug that. It's a pass-through for doing this stuff. It'll be a Romex that will run through, and it'll just be an outlet that passes through, and it'll be to code, and then we'll just plug in over here, and then we'll get that stuff done. So I think I need to get that on my way back. Yeah, I just need to get up here and find out which cable that is on the TV, and then I think I'm gonna call it a day so that I can get back in time, get all the other stuff that I need, and then be back to do all the rest of the stuff, which is, I need to get everything done so that way Wednesday we can focus on programming everything, sound, all this other good stuff, because we got to walk through and redo all of the audio to make sure that's working. And then also need to buy a license for a Pro Presenter so they can get that up and running. And then possibly Thursday, do some training with some folks, or we might have to reschedule a time because I had to get back to take my daughter to orientation for school, because school starts for her next week. So I think that's about it, folks. Let's get this TV and the narthex done, and then we go from there, and then we'll see y'all tomorrow. Link is down below to every single thing that we used here. Yeah, and that's about it. So if you like this type of content, appreciate a like, consider subscribing, hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. And if you ever want some help, folks, you know you can go to ajhomes.com/consultations. We can do phone, online, or in person to help get your stuff straight to modernize your media ministry so we can reach the nations in the world, folks. So anyway, this is AJ. We'll catch y'all on, well, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Later.